We're in Chicago.
Are they already in Chicago?
The one and only Leo Biaz. Hey, Leo.
I'm excited to be back, my man. It was 9 days in Vegas. We got stuck in the desert, and we had a little hangover remix out there, man.
I wore a wig to school once, and they said no headgear was allowed.
How did
spider web
was it
tights.
obvious that it was a wig?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was
It was
having
a terrible
fun.
wig.
See, this is exactly why we have them on the show, and this is what makes them fun.
You're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Julie Dameron, local veterinarian for over 20 years. I am so excited about my new radio show, Tales and Tips, on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Voice of Stockton, and KXVS Radio. I will discuss relevant issues affecting animals and pet owners today, how to avoid common problems, and how to extend the quality of life for your cherished companions. As a community advocate, I will also discuss important social issues that affect our city. I plan to showcase organizations and heroes who are doing amazing things to help others. Remember to tune in every Tuesday morning at 10, starting soon.
Do you want to relive the golden days of Stockton? Join Nate Knott on Stockton Alive every first and third Monday at 6 p.m. Tune into thevoiceofstockton.org. With Matt George and Leo Biaz.
Cowbell Kingdom's podcast.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Thursday nights at 7 p.m. right here on KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
My name is Josh, and you're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
The voice of Stockton on KXVS presents St. Mary's Sports with your hosts, Rick Pulaski and Zach Lytle.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Rams Hockey here in Stockton, California. We have a plethora, I love using that word, I can't spell it, but I love using it, guests tonight. And we have a little bit to talk about. We're going to talk about a trip that we just came back from Minnesota. We're going to go on and talk about our upcoming events that we have. We also have a fundraiser on Saturday night we'll talk about. So we got a lot of things to get to in a short amount of time because these kids have to get to bed and count sheep so they can get back in school and get A's on their work. So
Yeah, it's already past my bedtime.
it's all right. Yeah, we're not in Eastern time anymore, young man. Yeah. Anyhow. All right, so we'll go around here and introduce ourselves. We'll start to my left and your right on the radio dial. Go ahead.
My name is Kyle Lathan.
And my name's Ethan Saldana.
Coach Zach is to my right. We're going to get right after it. So what did you guys think about our trip to Minnesota? First time you guys have you were in Colorado, but this was a bigger event, I think. Yeah. It's the league that we're in is the NA.
It's the NAHL Prep.
Prep
is officially what it's called.
Why don't you explain that a little bit?
It's sponsored by the North American Hockey League for prep academies that have like varsity hockey teams like St. Mary's. So there's teams from mostly the Midwest and up in the Minnesota, Colorado area.
Some Canadian teams are as well.
Yeah.
So we start off getting on an aircraft here in Oakland on Thursday afternoon. Nice little trip over in that commute traffic. I really take my hat off to those people that commute on that corridor every day. I don't know that I could do it. Once every 3 or 4 months wouldn't be bad, but every day is tough. So we get over the airport, and we get all of you guys out of the vans and all your gear, and we board the plane Southwest, and we head towards Minnesota, 3.5-hour flight. We get there about 5:30 at night. Their time, we take everybody to dinner, and then we hit the bed. And I think we played at 8 o'clock the next morning, if I remember the game time right.
Yeah.
So take us through it. We both can give us a little bit about how you first at the time change, you're 2 hours ahead of here, and then what time did we get you up?
I think we woke up about like
it was like 6.
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you came down. What did we do?
Breakfast at 6:15, 6:30, and then off to the rink for an hour ahead of game time.
Right. So we arrived at this rink. Now, especially on the West Coast here, I've been around youth hockey probably 7-8 years now. Never been in a facility like this in Minnesota. It was in Blaine, Minnesota, if anybody knows where that is. It's a little bit from the airport. I think it's 20 miles, 25 miles. I believe it's west of the airport. We get to this rink, and this rink has 8 ice rinks in it and one roof. I've never been in a facility quite that big. What did you guys think when you got there and saw that?
I was pretty amazed. I was very surprised.
And each rink had a game going on in it. So we had people up early in the morning playing. I believe we opened up with Valor. Is that correct?
Yeah, with Valor Christian.
Yeah. And so we take the ice with them. And mind you, anybody that's listening, is these we're in an 18 and under league. So most of these teams, in fact, all the teams that we played had no freshmen or sophomores on them. They were either junior, senior.
Or full senior.
Huh? Or full senior, right. Clayton is probably the biggest kid on our team. I forget how I billed him as 6'8", 400, but he's not. But he's 6'1" or 2", and he was medium. All these teams we played were a lot bigger than us, but you guys went to battle.
Valor already, so kind of know what was going on. We knew we could play with them, and we did. We played with them pretty much the entire game, and it ended up being a 6-4 loss for us. But I feel it was definitely high compete level on our part, and we stuck with them even though we got a couple more goals scored against us than we did for us.
Right, but again, it's just the compete that you guys did. You never really out of that game. Again, it's just that we're a young team, and we also have a short bench. For those that don't understand short bench, most of those teams had 18 to 20 players. We fielded 14, but that's with 2 goaltenders. So we had 12 actual skaters out there, 2 goaltenders. So late in the game, I don't know, Kyle, how'd you feel about your stamina?
I play. We only have 2 centers, so me and Ethan have to go right back out as soon as we get off.
But how do you feel in the third period? Are you gassed a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. By like second period,
you're feeling it in your legs.
You're feeling it, yeah.
So you're taking a lot shorter shifts, possibly out there.
Yeah, and then trying to keep it out of our zone so we're not constantly stopping and starting. It's always fluid motion.
Right. What did you think, Coach, about that first game?
Well, I thought the whole weekend was great. I mean, it's our goal. One of our goals was to lower our goals against average, and as the weekend went on, we did that. The last game we only gave up 3, and 1 was on the first shift of the game. So they cleaned up a lot of stuff. The rink, the size of the rink, the building, probably hurt us in one game because you ding-dongs wandered around the rink trying to figure out where the locker room was. How much time did that waste?
Well, I mean, y'all wandered off on your own. I went to go find the locker room. I did that, but I think that was about probably like 10 minutes that y'all realized you're going the wrong direction.
Is that how you say it in Portland, y'all? I thought that was a Southern thing.
That's a Southern thing. I say it because my dad says it, and my dad didn't get it when he lived in Texas. He always said it.
I got you. But this is what Coach is referring to. We get there for, I believe it was the 3rd game, and Coach Eisler dropped the boys off at the back of this rink. So we walk in, and it's rink 7 and 8, and they had a video monitor of the games. So we look at that. Our name didn't pop up. So Ethan and I went over to a lady working there and asked what the rink was. Well, Kyle.
These yahoos go wandering over.
He says, we're on rink 4, which is all the way in the front of the rink. And he and Luca Petroni got to carry the stick bag, which is not a lightweight thing. And he had to go up stairs, the only way he could get to the front. It was a mess. And I'll never forget Ethan's face. He turned to me and goes, I'm in trouble. And I said, why would you be in trouble? Because they all left. And I said, well, that's on them. They'll figure it out that they have to come back. But I said, I had your back, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you felt a little bit more at ease.
And then the coach came in like, y'all are dumb. Ethan was the only one that was smart.
Yeah, so it was a lot of learning curves. We had kids forget stuff, not wake up in the morning. It was something. You have to, and Kyle's mom, which is our manager, Kelly, did a great job. I mean,
Clayton's mom.
Clayton. I said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Y'all are acting too similar now.
Yeah.
She'll think she got fired.
No. You're still a manager, Kelly, if you're listening. You're not going anywhere. So, anyhow, she kept us all pretty much in check and online and kept us knowing where we were going and what rink, what time to get up. And it was a great time for myself just to go and watch. Like I said, the boys played very, very well, like Coach said. The last game, we had a shot at winning it, and we came up a little short. But all in all, I think that league is probably how much more advanced than the Duck League, do you think, Coach?
It's hard to quantify. I think top to bottom, all the teams are the same, you know, whereas in the Duck League, there might be a weekend where maybe a team is not quite as good as some of the others, and another weekend might be really difficult. But, you know, the way they played, they got better every game, minus a 5-minute stretch in game 2. And you can see all the stuff that we do in practice starting to translate into games. But it's still a slow translation, and as we get deeper into the season, those things will be quicker and faster, and our game should be faster because of it. So it wouldn't matter what league we play in. I think we'll be fine.
Right, and you can really see that they compete. These guys out there is hard for me to understand, but they don't give up, and they're outmanned and they're outsized in most cases. I know some of you guys took some pretty good hits out there, and the speed of the game is pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's you gotta give it 110%. Like just your skating wise out there, you hop on the ice and it's 0 to 100.
And you
like
stay
that.
at 100, right?
Yeah.
You can't. If you back off to 70, you're in trouble.
Yeah, they're going right around you, and you're looking through your feet like, where's everybody gone?
Yeah. Like I said, I think we didn't take too many penalties. We took a few. One was kind of in the first game, I thought that last penalty that Clayton took could have been avoided.
I don't remember.
And it left us shorthanded, and they scored a goal. And it's just, I'm not picking on him per se because we've all done it. He just, we were getting frustrated, I think, and he puck released, and he was a good 5 feet from this kid, and he still took him. And, from watching from my perspective, he could probably have backed off and didn't hit the kid, but that's part of hockey, and we learn that as we go through. It's got to be tough on you guys with a short bench when a kid takes a penalty because now you're double and triple shifting and trying to keep the opposition from scoring.
Yeah, and especially when our penalty killer takes the penalty, then you gotta put out myself or Kyle, who we're already double shifting. Right. We're out there.
The guy's complaining about ice time.
I'm not complaining. I'm complaining about my own stamina.
Coach, I play too much, Coach. I need to back it off a little bit.
But
let me ride the bench for a couple minutes, Coach.
Yeah, it's a good learning for all these kids when we go out there, and some of these teams were just that good. They were phenomenal. These kids float around in these $700,000-$800,000 buses with a tow trailer behind them. It's pretty impressive to watch these kids show up at the rink, and then they get off the bus. They're all pretty disciplined kids. I say kids, they're young men at that age.
You asked about the league earlier. I think because of the skill level of the league, it's not like it's a physical game. They still hit and check and have to protect themselves, but that's not the main focus. Like they're playing hockey, so they're moving the puck and they're getting into open ice, and it's a fast game. And with when we play in Anaheim, maybe not the top teams, but the other teams, you'll see more of a physical game where it's a little bit slower and a little more taxing as far as body contact goes. But I think for us in our program, the goal is to play a fast hockey game, and minus a few mistakes. Kyle not using his backhand, and players cutting back, those little habits like that. Our game gets faster and faster. The thing I was curious about on the trip, because it was our third trip in 3-4 weeks, is I'm curious when they're going to learn how to travel.
And explain that to everybody, because we all think, well, how do you travel? You put your suitcase on the plane, you sit in a chair, they go there, you get off, go to your hotel room. But
you have a group of people all trying to get something done, and in the beginning, it's getting better, but in the beginning, it's 14 individuals doing 14 different things and not working together. And as each trip has taken place, maybe 5 guys are working together, and then maybe the next one 7 guys are working together. Whereas once we get this thing going, everybody's got to be helping, so we can get off the bus quick, get in the rink and set up quick, and not waste time. I think we're still a little bit of the mindset where it's all really big, and they're wide-eyed. It's like, I can't believe I'm in Minnesota playing hockey.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but I think we definitely need to grow with our professionalism. We're still a bunch of rowdy kids, and I think that'll come with time. Definitely throughout the season. And with the travel, we definitely toned down and more mature in that sense.
I remember, we're not picking on you, Kyle, but I remember an incident with you. Somebody found a basketball, I don't know, at the hotel, and we're kind of laying around, waiting to come together and go back in the bands and head back to the rink to play another game. And Kyle and I don't know who you're with, Hunter, I think.
I was with.
Yeah, Hunter. Sean,
I was with Strider.
Strider, that's who it was, Strider. And they come back in, and Coach is sitting next to me and goes, Kyle, what are you doing? Kyle's got these, like, oh, my goodness, I'm in trouble, but I don't know what to say, so I'm not going to say anything. He had that big grin like he has right now.
Good strategy.
And he said, what do you think you're doing, Kyle? What do you think? And hey, what do you think, Kyle? And Kyle's like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to say the wrong thing. And then he says something the coach thought he said vacation. Vacation? This isn't a vacation. We're here to play hockey. We're here. This isn't a vacation, boy. Hey, you got it? Yes, coach. And so we had a lot of those moments. One of the kids that were supposed to be here tonight, he wanted to go to the St. Mary's football game, and happens to be my grandson. And and I don't know, it was the second or third game, he gets benched.
Second game.
Yeah.
Last like 9 minutes.
9 minutes. And his partner who lives with him, Mr. Petroni, who we're going to call you out, baby, he got to sit the whole third period. Now, and so I don't know what happened, and I could care less. The coach is in charge of the team, and he does what he thinks is best for the team. So, anyhow, I asked Petroni, I said, hey, what happened? He goes, I'm the one that I coughed up the puck in the slot and they scored. I should have passed it to the wall or whatever he said. And so I asked Anthony, I said, what'd you do? Coach says, I don't care. I care. I said, well, then you need to go out and show him you care. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, kid. You got to figure it out. So his game changed when he got back on the ice in the next game. Both of them did. They played better. Yeah. But it leaves you guys, the rest of the team, in the lurch because you're out there playing a lot more ice time, and we're not going to complain about that, but there becomes a fatigue factor with you guys.
Yeah,
so
I think we need to get our stamina worked up as well.
Yeah.
Coach, you should have us do skate some lines at the end of practice.
That's a great idea.
That's a
idea. You guys talk big when we're not around the ice.
It's coming.
I mean, I need to get at least for myself, definitely double shifting. I need to get my stamina in control and better.
And that's one of the things I noticed sitting away from the bench and in the corner that's usually where I hide. watched the game. We worked so hard in our defensive end that by the time we got the puck and headed up ice, we had to dump it and get off. So we could never get a offensive swagger going, I guess. But I don't know.
Well, the last game we had, we had a bad first half, and they cut the games. They did the ice cut at the halfway point, so it was a half and a half. But the second half, they had a ton of energy, and they had a lot of good offensive chances. And going back to your grandson, the interesting thing is, he gets benched and sat, and he probably feels pretty bad about it at the time.
Oh yeah.
And he knows what he did. It was explained to him. Nobody gets sat
just because
and is not told what's going on.
Sure.
They know exactly what the reason is, and he dusted himself off. And then in our last game, the scout from the NHL was talking to him about the future. So, he's able to rebound quickly.
Yeah, he's been around Coach Isaac his whole hockey career, basically. So he's used to getting his chops busted, and rightfully so. Not saying that, I've never been the one as a parent or grandparent to criticize a coach or say, well, why did he do that? He shouldn't have done that. And I think that's a big learning lesson for a lot of people out there to have younger kids playing, because two ways to ask a question. And I've said this to a lot of people, so for those people, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it again. But you go up to a coach and you get mad at him. You say, I'm just going to say I'm your father, Ethan. Hey, why? How come you're benching my kid? How come he's not playing? So-and-so's getting double the ice that he's getting. Now, coach is going to be defensive about that, because first you're questioning why he's doing something. But let me ask you, I'm going to turn that same question around where you'll get help from the coach. What can I do to get Ethan more ice time? Same question, going to be the same answer, but he's more prone to help you. Well, he's not doing his edges right, or he's not playing both ways. He's only playing offense. He's not back checking. And until he learns that, he's not going to see that much ice. Well, then as a parent, I can relay to you, Ethan, if you want more ice time, you got to start back checking, or whatever it is that the coach said.
It's a new generation now, so I understand where that comes from. But that to me sounds like a conversation you have with an 8-year-old. The player should come to the coach if there's a question. The parent should never ask a coach anything.
I agree.
But they do.
Zach's been around me when I can get a little crazy about certain things, but it's usually not about how they're coaching. It's about, and again, it doesn't make it right because I do it, but you talk about the officiating. I thought the officiating was pretty good both ways, calling it both ways. I don't think there was anything unfair.
Yeah, no.
The
last game got hosed, but that's whatever.
Yeah, well, that was weird. I got to tell you, we score a goal, and I'm looking in the corner, the referee's waving it off. I'm thinking, well, there's got to be a penalty. The first thing that came to my mind, he must have called a penalty that I didn't see. Then the puck went in after that. Well, what was it, Coach?
He lost sight of the puck.
He didn't even. The puck was playable. He saw Hunter had it, but I think he didn't want stuff to get too rough at that point, because it was loose in front of the net, and the game had already gone pretty chippy at that point by the third period, and it's loose in there. So I think he did it like safety-wise, so you don't want anybody to get punches thrown or something, but the play was still going.
I disagree. He was on the other side of the net. The goalie blocked his view of the puck, and the puck was laying right by his pad, and before he could put his glove on it, Hunter roofed it.
Yeah.
But he'd already made up his mind that the puck had been covered. Yeah. In my head. Now, maybe Ethan's right, but that's what I saw.
Yeah. So, and again, these guys aren't professional referees. I guess they are because they get paid, but they're not.
All refs get paid.
Huh?
They're not perfect.
When I reffed, I got paid.
But they're not perfect. They're still, even at this level.
And he admitted that he made a mistake.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it is what it is. And again, I'm going to go back to this because I think it's a good point. Winning, people love to win. And a lot of things are judged by wins and losses. But especially with a new team or any team, when you lose, it's not about losing, it's about learning. You learn from each game, and I think you guys have done a good job of that. I think as the year goes on, that we'll get much better at a lot of things that we do. And paying attention to practice. I mean, once in a while the coach has to get on one play or another. But when you go out there, I know it's fun and games and we like, playing the grab game with everybody or whatever, talking. But try to really, when you go out there on that ice, even for practice should be very tough, very, very difficult, even at any level, right? But then when you play the game, it should be simple. You bust your butt in practice to make the game simple. Am I off on that, Coach?
No, that's exactly it. The game should be easy.
Yeah,
because the practice is so hard.
Way back in 1900s when I played football, that's what they told us. You guys should come off this field exhausted, like you can't do anything else, because the game it'll be simple. You'll go out there and think the stamina part and all that rest of the part. But you guys, I'm going to ask each one of you, when we got behind in 2 out of the 4, I think we were in the lead in both 2 games. I don't remember.
Yeah, we were in the lead in
first game and the last game, or not the last game, the third game.
The third game, yeah.
And first of all, how does it feel to play from behind? Number one, and number 2 question would be, when we score and then they score within a minute of us scoring, how does that affect your mental frame?
Playing from behind, you now think of the game as, oh, I only have this much time to tie it up or this much time to get ahead now. Whereas playing from the lead, you at least have that cushion of one goal, so that you know that, well, if we give up 1 goal, it's going to end in a tie, which will make us go to overtime, which is another extended part where we can play and hopefully get the win. And you're a bit more relaxed in a mental state, I guess, knowing that you're not scurrying around trying to even out the playing field and win the game in only a lot amount of time, whereas you're just defending, kind of. I mean, you want to get at least a 2 or 3 goal lead, but at that point, it's yeah.
How do you feel?
And I feel like it's a lot easier to just get the lead, just work hard right in the beginning, keep being aggressive in the beginning, just make the other team work, and if you can get the goal in the first period or the first 10 minutes, it really sets the tone for the rest of the game. I mean, doing that just makes the other team makes their jobs way harder. They have to struggle.
The nice thing about being a new team is they don't have a lot of information on what you guys do or who does what in situations. The longer we go, the more they'll have video, be more prepared. But I think that's one of the things. If we get off to a quick start, that these teams don't know what they're up against. They have no clue. So you're even at that point. Even if you're not even, you're even. So you go out there and take what you learn in practice and go out there and do it.
One of the things Coach and I really push for is they shouldn't change how they play, whether they're behind or ahead. Their mindset should be the same. We're trying to just play hockey. Now, that's easier said than done, and what we found is at the beginning of the season or the beginning of our league games, it's gotten better since, but in the beginning, when they would get scored on, there would be a sag, and they would stop playing, and then 1 would turn into 2, or 2 would turn into 3, and so they've stopped that.
Right.
So now they get scored on, and now they're more resilient, and they rely more on everything that we do in practice. So they have they're calm, and that's how we'd like them to play all throughout. We don't want them to get a lead and then feel like they can take it easy. That's right. We don't want that. But we want them to get a lead, not get overly emotional about it and too excited, because there's still more hockey. And when they get behind, we want them to, understand we're behind, and we have to manage our game, manage the puck so it doesn't get worse, and then try and get some of that momentum back before the game's over, obviously.
Yeah, like we talked in one of the earlier shows about shift by shift, because that's how you really got to play. You come off the ice and you go, man, I wish I'd have done this, or if I'd have done that, or whatever it might be that you're thinking about. Then you have a chance to go out and prove yourself within, in your cases, probably 30 40 seconds later, you're back out on the ice, depending on stoppages. And you just got to win every time you're on whatever your shift is, you got to win that shift. And if you do that, you'll be more successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking on it that this was like a real good trip for you, because you didn't have to see the trainer one time, did you? Yeah.
I didn't get hurt every game this weekend.
Yeah, and there were some big hits. I don't think anybody really got banged up too much. I know Anthony said he got smashed into
the Strider got railed.
Yeah, somebody
His back's acting up now.
Yeah.
Alex got hit by the referee.
Yeah.
That was about it for him, I think.
He hit his head against the glass, and he said, for a minute, he said, I thought it was Ric Flair. All I kept saying, woo! He was trying to get his scruples back. But we're going to take a break for some of the questions. I want to get through some stuff about our fundraiser this Saturday night, 6 o'clock, in the cafeteria at St. Mary's High. We do have a few tickets left to sell. You have a chance to win $5,000 and a prime rib dinner.
We're going to auction off one of the boys, aren't we?
No?
Yeah, me.
Yeah, we won't get much for you, young man. You got to be a little taller.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going by weight. So anyhow, but we are going to have a fundraiser to help these boys in their hockey careers. In case some of them need a little bit of help money-wise, we have it for them. So if you can make it, give the school a call. Ask for the athletic department. Barbara is the secretary there. She's a wonderful young lady. Tell her you'd like to buy a ticket for the raffle and come out and possibly win $5,000. It's a lot better than the lottery that everybody played and didn't win, except for the one young man in South Carolina.
It's a lot better than a kick in the gut.
Yeah, exactly. This raffle is going to probably have a 1 out of 80 chance to win $5,000, which those odds are much better than whatever they were on that thing. So, if at all possible, that night, 6 o'clock, St. Mary's High School cafeteria, please come out and support the hockey team. We'd really appreciate it. Going forward now, we have some Southern California games coming up.
Yeah, we're going to play in San Jose next weekend. Anaheim will come up to play in San Jose.
So for those who want to go see a game, we will not be playing at Oak Park that weekend. Our next game at Oak Park is November 11th. I believe we're on the air before that. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but I believe we're on the air prior to that game, so we'll let everybody know. Last time it was a full house, so if you want to get in there, get there early because it's limited seating. I think we had maybe 500 people, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot for that rink. So come out and support us.
Who do we play next weekend?
We play
not this weekend.
What is it? Country Day and Bellarmine, I think.
Oh,
Bellarmine in San Jose, and that rink is Solar Ice, I think they call it now. It's on 10th Street in San Jose. It's the practice facility for the San Jose Sharks, and if they're in town, I don't know what time we play, but a lot of times they do morning skates there. If not them, the opposing team, whoever they might be playing, maybe having that ice. So they're out there, some things to do, very nice facility. So come out and join us, not this weekend, next weekend. Let's get to talk about some of the stuff that you're seeing in practice and what we're doing to get them ready for 2 weeks or a week and a half, whatever it is.
Well, since we got back from Minnesota, we are trying to get them to play a little faster. So there's a lot of quick ups, get the puck from one end of the ice to the other. In the games, we found some situations where they kind of get themselves stuck. So we're giving them some options that they can use in those same game scenarios where they won't get stuck.
Yeah, well, our offense was from our defense, I think, from what I saw. We had some good stuff up front, but again, it's the same thing. You guys are, by the time we get possession out of our end, we got to dump the puck and then go after it. And
like a player like Ethan, we talked to Ethan before. He's got a good shot, and so we set a goal for him. You try and get 5 shots a game, and I think your best half, you had your 5 shots. And then the second half kind of tailed off a bit, but he sees the net pretty well, and he's got pretty good offensive flair. And then Kyle scored a big goal for us.
This is little tidbit of what happened there. Kyle knocks on my room. I have my own separate room. I don't hang out with the boys. But I get a knock. Anthony, my grandson, and him were there. Says, "Can we use your phone?" Because the coach took their phones. He gave it to them like about an hour to call parents or whatever that might be. But they actually had to talk to each other the whole weekend. They weren't Snapchatting and Instagramming and Facebooking and whatever else they do. Roadblocks or
no, not that.
No, never.
He does. He plays.
No, I.
Then, anyhow,
that's your secret passion, man.
That's your secret passion.
How many girls have just tuned you out because they thought you just don't return your call, and then all of a sudden you got to tell them, I don't have my phone.
Like two.
Two?
Not like
his mother and his aunt.
Not because of like hockey. Not because of like hockey. It's just like whenever I just don't have my phone with me for like an hour. It's bad.
So he comes in, he calls his dad, and he says, "Dad, I need a new stick. My stick's this, my stick's that, whatever."
Well,
so do you mind if I get another stick? I guess his dad said he could. So Anthony, who came to me prior to them coming to the door, and he says, "My stick," he snapped the stick in half a couple weeks ago, shattered. I've never seen a stick break right in the middle. It's always usually down by the blade, but and they're really inexpensive, the sticks, right, guys? So
they wouldn't
for
know.
sure.
Yeah, they would. You're right,
They
Coach.
know.
They don't know.
They don't
So
know.
anyhow,
it's like $10.
he wants to get a new stick, and my friend Ethan, the captain, right across from me, he's during practice. I'm seeing this thing flipping around his skate. I'm going, "What has he got? Has he got like?" I thought maybe he had those dingle balls or something hanging off his skate. I don't know what he's doing. So it's the back. It's the Achilles,
the tendon protector.
The tendon
guard,
protector is ripped and it's just sloshing around. The coach would tell him, "You're going to trip on that thing, kid. Put the thing away." So anyhow, his dad flew in from Portland to watch the series. So anyhow, he went off to get new skates. So the moral of the story was he didn't use his new skates because they weren't broke in, and it takes a while to break them in. But Kyle and Anthony, they come out and score goals with those new sticks. But
I got a new stick as well, but I didn't score with that.
I wasn't trying to down you, but I was in your core. But anyhow, the nice thing is you better score a lot of goals with those sticks because the money is stopped. Your dad's texting me right now.
It's like $20 bills.
$20 bill?
I don't know.
And Kyle's a fun kid to be around because Kyle is always, he's playing with his hair. If you guys look at him, if he comes up on camera again, he used to be the blonde. Remember the kid that got his hair dyed every Thursday night to keep it blonde? I guess he ran out of money because now it's brown. So it all grew out. And he's like our diva on our team because he spends more time in the mirror than any other of the kids. And he flips his hair and he does this smile. He's got a nice smile, I will give him that. But, you know, he asking people for combs and all this stuff. I mean, he's trying to, I don't know who he's trying to impress because the boys don't care. You don't care, do you, Ethan?
No, yeah.
I didn't think so.
He hasn't met a mirror he didn't like.
That's right. That's right. He's attached to every mirror. Even shiny bumpers, he's in the cars.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's
look at the reflection on tinted where he's like, "Oh yeah, look at his jawline."
Yeah, he's trying. Yeah, anyhow, it was a fun time. The boys were good to be around. Who do we play down in Anaheim? Do you guys know?
Last time?
No, in San Jose.
Country Day. And
Bellarmine, yeah.
And we've played Bellarmine twice. I don't know if it'll be the same team that we.
I don't know. It's I'm sure that they're fine-tuned their roster.
Yeah.
They hadn't even practiced when we played them last time.
Our buddy Dave Guy's over there.
Yeah.
And my buddy here, Coach Zach, was the assistant coach over there last year. So
yeah,
we get text messages, and it's pretty funny to see. You know, we play against each other, different teams, and you guys probably play against guys that you played before with, either on your team or against your team. But it's pretty fun how this community of hockey players. Are you okay? You don't have to drink it all at one time. This kid's guzzling down. He's going to have a water headache or something. I don't know. Watch him. So anyhow, but it's funny how this community is so close knit. I'm gonna have Zach talk about our head coach, Derek Eisler. We go into the rink and it's like he's the Pied Piper. Tell him, Coach.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's everywhere you go. Like I remember going to
Ethiopia
a tournament. No, we didn't go to Ethiopia, but we were at a tournament in Chicago, and our team was done playing, but we were going to kill time before the flight, and so we stopped at the rink to catch the championship game for one of the divisions above us. And as we walk in, a guy that owns I think it was the Muskegon Lumberjacks, he yelled, "Derek? Derek Eisler?" And they hadn't seen each other in 20 years.
I'll be
and
darned.
it's picked up right off where they left off. And then in Minnesota this last weekend, it was, that times 10.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't walk. If he's ever missing and you can't find him, it's because he's talking to people.
Yeah, it's really amazing. He's like the Pied Piper of hockey people. He's just a pleasure to be around. I'll tell you a quick story. I flew over next to him going there, and he's amazing. First of all, we bought sandwiches back in Oakland to eat on the aircraft while we were going, and we're not up in the air 10 minutes. He goes, hey. When do you want to eat these sandwiches? I said, whatever you want, Coach. If we don't want to eat them, we don't eat. Whatever you want. He said, well, what do you think, About halfway through, And I'm going, yeah, Coach. Yeah, that'll work. Halfway through or whatever. Okay. So he's looking, and he starts looking out the window. And he's telling me all these we're 35,000 feet. Everything looks the same to me. I can't see. They look like little checkerboards down there, right? And he says, oh, hey, look over there. That's a rink we played out over here. And all the way the whole flight, he's pointing out things, and there's an outside rink there. Can you see that? And I'm just amazed.
How do you have an outside rink in California?
Well, we were out of California.
Oh.
Yeah. So so then he says, hey, I think we're 55 minutes away. So I get on my Southwest app, and I tune it up.
55 minutes.
And it's 55 exactly. And I'm looking, and he has his phone hidden under his thigh. There's no way this guy knows 55 minutes. I said, how do you know that? He says, I can feel the plane starting to come down. I don't think anything about it. I said, oh, he got lucky. That's what I'm thinking, right? He got lucky. There's no way he knows. But he knows landmarks that he looks out and sees, and he knows. So anyhow, we go a little further, and he says, well, we're 15 minutes away. So I get my app out again. I say, he's got to be wrong now. I'm going to nail him. And I look at my app, and sure enough, 15 minutes. So I took my phone, I threw it in the pocket in front of me. I don't need this stupid phone. I got you here. When are we going to land, and where do we go? But he's a class act, a good guy to be around. He runs thing on a timely. He's like a drill sergeant. When you got to be somewhere at that time, you better be there, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not according to the clock on your phone. It's according to his clock.
Yeah, exactly.
On his
So you guys learn something right there. You learn something. So next time you go with them, you get your watches out or whatever your phone device is or whatever you're using, and you say, Coach, what time is it right now? And you sync in with them, right? Then you won't have that problem anymore. But we were leaving the school on Thursday. I'm across the parking lot. I'm talking to a couple of people, and Coach is getting the boys in the van. I get this phone call. Is our general manager of coaches, which is Mr. Eisler's wife, my good friend Renee. She calls me on the phone and she says, hey, are you at the school? I said, yeah, sure am. I can't get a hold of Derek. And I said, really? She says, yeah, he forgot something at home. So I look across the parking lot, and he's talking to somebody or whatever. So I said, I'm going to walk over to him. So I give him my phone. I said, hey, our boss called. He wants to talk to you. And apparently he forgot his medicine or something at the house. And he says, well, it's too bad. We're leaving. We're leaving in 5 minutes. You won't make it here in time. Just 5 minutes. We're going to leave. We're on the road. I said, I'll wait for you. Because I was traveling with another car. I wasn't with their caravan. So I said, I'll wait for it. Oh, yeah, Rick said he'd wait for it if you want to come. And that was it. So anyhow, he's a pleasure to be around. But, boy, don't be tardy because he'd leave without you. He'd leave without you. Do we have any other mishaps in the hotel rooms? Go ahead, rat somebody out.
Me, Strider, and Anthony overslept.
What did we talk about at the coffee shop?
Overnapped.
What did we do?
We overnapped.
No. Let's go back to the three people that were there. Who were they again?
Where?
You.
Oh, God.
And
This
Anthony and Strider.
So how do you say that? Dean, this is for you, buddy. I'm trying to get him to speak.
Anthony, Strider, and I.
There you go. Good job. This remedial English class and continue.
Lord. Right, you know where his English grade's at.
What is it?
I think it's an A right now.
Oh, you think?
Well, it's actually a dash because she hasn't put a grade in yet.
Anyhow.
NA.
They were late. Great story. We're at the airport leaving. And I drove with Mrs. Brown. She was kind of, actually I drove my own car back there. But anyhow, I get to the airport, I get in, and I see all these young men with their bags. And Anthony's there. He comes up to me. He goes, "Pop, what, Anthony? I left my wallet in the hotel." I said, "What? You did what?" I told him, I said, "You're really dumb. How do you leave your wallet of all things that you need?"
Yeah, Kyle, how do you do that?
I left mine in the parking lot.
Yeah. So I told him, "Anthony, get on your blower. For you that don't know what a blower is, it's your phone. That's an old term for phones. Get on that blower, you call that hotel, have them go to that room, and then you better hope to the devil that they find that wallet." And they did, and they mailed it home. But I had no idea, just for you people that travel, if you're under 16 or something, 15, you don't need an ID.
You don't. No.
Yeah.
I think it's if you're under 16.
Under 18.
Is it under 18? Okay.
Under 18. Yeah. So we've had a few of those events.
Just two.
Not bad. Nobody left it. Yeah, too many though. So anyhow, when you people that don't have anybody in the hockey world, but you have teenagers, it does happen. It's just not your kid. They're all, sometimes they go in and out of comas. So sometimes they're alive and sometimes they're not. But we're getting ready again. We're going to go over the fundraiser. I'll tell you how it works. Saturday night again, 27th, 6 o'clock, St. Mary's High School cafeteria. They call it a ball drop, reverse raffle. There's a lot of names for it, but technically what it does, you buy a ticket, it gives you dinner. The first ball out, it comes out like in a bingo ball thing, but each ticket is numbered. So you might have 67, you might have 100, whatever your ball number or your ticket number is your ball number. So if the first ball out gets $100, so you get pretty much your money back. Every 10th ball gets $100 back. We get down to the final 4 people, and we ask them if they want to split the pot. All it takes is one person to say, roll the dice, I don't want to split the pot. I'm going for the whole thing. Then we roll again, and then we're down to 3 people because somebody gets eliminated, asks again for the split. And I've been to many of these over the course of my life, and once in a while you get a greedy person that just thinks he's that lucky. He's feeling the juju that night, and they'll get everybody. I've seen it where the guy got eliminated, and I've seen it where he stood in strong and he won the whole thing. So it takes a lot of guts. I mean, you split, even if it's 4 ways, your is $1,200 or $1,250. I think is the right mathematics at $5,000. But so it's a fun night. We're going to have a live auction to auction off a private jet flight from Stockton, California to Monterey for 6 people. They'll fly you over, you spend a day in Monterey, come back, and it's like a 15 or 20 minute flight from touch up or wheels up to touchdown. So it's something worthwhile to do. If whoever hasn't done a private jet, I've done this particular jet I was in once. The place I work, Chase Chevrolet, is donated it. Belongs to Chase Chevrolet and John Chase, John Ferriolo. They put it up for us to auction to make a little more money for our fundraiser. So I hope that brings a little bit of money, and we're looking forward to this event. You'll get to meet in fact, all the players. We're going to get Max out there. Crutches? No, you won't have crutches, but
Robo Max.
Robo Max, you there? Come on in, buddy. So it's going to be a fun time. The boys will be serving. Do you know what that is, Kyle? You got that stary look in your face again.
Yeah, you gotta be a waiter. Be a waiter. Prepare for college.
You have to pay for the dinner if one of the kids spills it on you.
No, he gets to clean you up.
Yeah,
I get to eat it.
No.
Anything that hits the floor, you get to keep.
Yeah, anything hits the floor, you get to keep. So
he's gonna drop every meal now.
It'll
just be on a pile, so eventually it'll be clean.
So come out and support our team. We're looking to have a nice crowd out there. Get to meet some good hockey people. Just a good community. It's really helping the boys get to the next level and do things that we're unable to do at the price they pay. I was, again, I'll bring up Minnesota real quick. They one of the schools we played, it was like $52,000, and that did not include hockey. That was what it cost to go to that school.
Dang.
Yeah. So we have a good thing here in Stockton. You'll get to meet the president of the school that night, Jim Brusa, the AD, Adam Lecter. Some great people, good organization. The kids are doing well. We haven't had any issues with any of the kids at the billeting homes, which is good. There's like yourself, you're from Portland, but your dad. You talk to your dad once a day, or?
I talk to my family about once a week.
That's enough. They don't want to talk to you anymore now.
Yeah, pretty much. You gotta get off the phone. You're using up the data.
No,
I talk to my maybe once, twice a week. When I don't have a lot of homework. So this week's been kind of rough because I was catching up from the Minnesota trip. But yeah, I called my mom about shampoo because I ran out of some. It's like, what do we have at home? I couldn't remember.
Oh, okay, man.
Yeah.
See, it's just simple things, guys.
Yeah. She's just like, is that all you want to talk about? I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much.
All right. So we're going to wind the show up. Is the governor with me? Governor Don, you got anything for us?
Hey, let's come out and support the St. Mary's hockey. Come on, the fundraiser. That's this Saturday at 6. I think that's going to be a blast. I mean, you get to meet the president, the athletic director, and maybe win a private flight. Did you say $5,000?
$5,000, my friend.
So if we get caught in the last four, what you going to say?
What? I'm going to say roll it, baby. I'm going to say roll it. I'm going to say roll it, yeah.
Man, we could just split it.
And if it gets down to 2 gov, right. You and I will split it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right,
that's a promise. You heard it here first, folks. We will split when it's down to 2.
You might even be able to meet me.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
If you meet Kyle, bring a mirror. That's all you have to do to meet Kyle. Bring a mirror, and he'll show up.
Yeah, you know, if you're talking to him, you want him to shut up, you just bring a mirror out anyways. And be like, oh, wow.
All right, any final words? We're good?
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Come out to our next game.
Thank you again, Mr. Zach Lytle, my main event guy, standing right next to me, man. He gets us through every hour here. Thank you again, Governor Don, for working the board. We have this is the dude here at KXVS Stockton Radio right here, my man right here, Doctor. Or I keep calling him Doctor. It's Governor Don. He's a doctor. He did brain surgery.
Radio doctor.
That a boy. All right. Until we see each other again, it will be November 8th. I believe it's 2 Thursdays from tonight. You guys, look at these guys hamming it up. Again, my last thing I'll say tonight before I sign off: keep your skates on the ice and reach for the stars. Have a good night, everybody. Goodbye.